How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's the part I want people to think about for this video. Lucifer said, I will be like the Most High. So what is the Most High like? Well, one of God's principles is He declares the end from the beginning. He tells us the end from the beginning. It's called prophecy. Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So God tells us the end from the beginning through His Word, which also was through prophets, people who God told the future to, and they wrote it down for us. Remember, Lucifer said, I will be like the Most High. So, what about Hollywood? Can Hollywood have something to do with this Lucifer wanting to be like the Most High? Does Lucifer tell us the end from the beginning in his own way, with his own style? Because remember, he wants to be like the Most High. Of course he does, and many of you already know that. This has been called predictive programming. They show us the future in these movies, in TV shows, right in front of our face, but we don't know that until we figure this out. You see, it's a deceptive way of being like the Most High. God tells you this is the future, this is what's going to happen. But Lucifer and his Hollywood programming doesn't do that. They say these are all fictional stories, make believe, and we're just doing it for entertainment. You see, Lucifer's wisdom is corrupted. It can be frightening how accurate some of these movies really are, if not all of these movies. Remember the Terminator, and I've talked about the series of the Terminator movies and what they are showing us. It's quite amazing, actually. If you just look at the names, it says a mouthful, with titles like Judgment Day and Genesis. Or how about the title Salvation? I mean, come on, it couldn't be more obvious as to what these movies are pulling from. And of course, we have the theme of artificial intelligence. And this is a reality in the days that we're in also. But it's way deeper and way more accurate than that in these movies, and I'll show you. August 29th, 1997. Skynet is a supercomputer built by Cyberdyne Systems for the U.S. military to coordinate the U.S. military arsenal. Skynet became self-aware on August 29th, 1997 at 2:14 a.m. In a panic, humans tried to shut down Skynet. In response, Skynet decided to destroy humanity and launched a nuclear strike on Russia. However, though Sarah and John prevented Judgment Day from occurring in 1997, the military still builds the Skynet technology. It goes online in 2004 instead. Kickstarting the apocalypse, John Connor defeats Skynet in 2029. But he sends Kyle back to 1984 again to protect and impregnate his mother. So, how accurate is this movie? Well, first let me show you something. Okay, this is a day count. From the day that Skynet in the movie Terminator, the day that Skynet became self-aware, which is August 29th, 1997. Now let's bring it into our world, which is September 11th, 2001, 9/11. 4 years later. Is it possible? Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove it, but is it possible that these movies are interlaced with our reality to the day and to the year? Well, look at this. This is the day count. 1,474 days. From the day Skynet became self-aware in the movie Terminator, now bringing it back to our world, to the day the towers went down, 9/11, 2001. 1,474 days from those dates. What about this number? Let's look this number up in the Strong's Concordance. 1474. The number 1474 means, in the Strong's Concordance Greek, I dash to the ground, level with the ground. Wait a second. Isn't that exactly what happened on 9/11, 2001? Dash to the ground, the buildings, level them to the ground, ground zero. So, y'all see that? How this movie somehow interlaced and made to fit the significance of our reality? And it also brings the idea to me that, did artificial intelligence have something to do with taking down, dashing to the ground, the Twin Towers on 9/11? Then we go to the fact that John Connor defeats Skynet in 2029. Well, gee whiz. How many videos have I made over the years, if you've been following me, showing you guys that 2029 is the end. 2029. The last Shemitah. The year of the return of Jesus Christ. 2029. And then I run across this. It's too incredible for somebody to even fathom that this is going on. And the fact that artificial intelligence plays a huge role in these last days as well. And we see this pattern in the book of Joshua, as I've shown. Joshua, which means Yeshua, fights the tribes that they had to wipe out at a place called Ai. Yeshua fights, has something to do with fighting Ai in these last days. And that is another way that God shows us the end from the beginning. And all these stories in the Old Testament, it's all in a mystery, showing us the patterns for the last days. Joshua fought at Ai. Yeshua will fight Ai in the last days here. And that's what they're showing us. Think about this one. If you counted the year 2000 as the year zero, back 2,000 years ago, And in 1997, AI became self-aware. That would be 3 BC, right? Because you're counting the year 2000 as 0. So you go 3 years back from 2000, which would be 1997. 3 years back, 3 years. That would be symbolic of 3 BC, right? If we count the year 2000 as 0. So you go back to actual 0 2,000 years ago, and in 3 BC, who was born? Jesus. So Jesus was born in 3 BC. You go 2,000 years ahead to the year 2000, count that as a mirror, right, of the year 0. And 3 years before the year 2000, 1997, AI becomes self-aware. So what are they trying to show us? Like it's like a picture of Jesus, right? From the year 2000 to 1997 would be 3 BC. AI becomes self-aware. So actual 3 BC, Jesus is born. Are they saying that God is AI? Right? And like Jesus being born is like God being self-aware or something like that? And also remember that Jesus started his ministry in 26 AD. If you count 2,000 years, which is 40 Jubilees, from 26 AD, it's 2026 AD. And that's when the Antichrist will start his ministry. 2,000 years exactly, 40 Jubilees exactly from 26 AD, which when Jesus started his ministry. And I believe the rapture's before that. And where I get that from is when Jesus was let out, as soon as he was baptized, he was let out into the desert, the wilderness, for 40 days to be tempted by the devil. If you turn those days into 40 Jubilees, that's a picture from 26 AD, 40 Jubilees later to 2026 AD. So we have a perfect picture there. God turns days into years, years into Jubilees. The Antichrist will start his ministry in 2026 AD, exactly 40 Jubilees past 26 AD, when Jesus started his ministry. And it will last 42 months, or 3.5 years, to 2029 AD. Just like in the movie Terminator, in 2029 AD, Jesus will defeat AI and whoever else he has to. Just like John Connor in the movie Terminator, 2029, with the Resistance defeats Skynet. This is the world that we live in. What I'm telling you right now is reality. But reality seems crazy to most people. The Bible warns us up and down on what this world is. And one of the main things that it warns us about is deception and being aware of Satan's devices. Devices. Do you think a TV is his device? Hollywood is his device? In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, it says that Satan is the god of this world, small g. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, it says that he is the prince of the power of the air. How did these programs come into your house? Through the airwaves. I mean, this is what is going on. It's called predictive programming. And it's been going on. It's the whole reason that Hollywood was created. It's what it's for. It was never for entertainment. It's because Lucifer wants to be like the Most High, and he does so in a corrupted way.